The GTA Definitive Edition Trilogy just launched, and it's incredible. Rockstar really outdid themselves. The Definitive Edition is a true masterpiece, a visually stunning rework of some of our beloved classic games. And honestly, it couldn't be better. I never thought that Los Santos could look so good. And personally, these might be my favorite games of all time. But this isn't the Definitive Edition. Everything that you're seeing right now is a fan-made project by Arcadia. Yeah, 3 guys from Argentina put this together all by themselves. So if 3 people are able to do this to Los Santos in modern day, I can only imagine what Rockstar, a $1 billion company, could do. Yep, that's about right.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm not even sure where to start. There's a lot of shit packed into these files. From the awful release to their terrible customer service. Rockstar somehow managed to decimate their reputation in only a matter of days. And I can confidently say, this launch was worse than Cyberpunk.
Now look at this gun. See that gun? We just got it. That is sick. Taking cover.
Which, for this channel, is extremely ironic. Dude, I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's weird, right? This forces me to shove my whole foot in my mouth, because I've given Rockstar a lot of praise on this channel. Yeah, I only trust Rockstar now. Yeah, that was months ago, okay? And I no longer blindly trust Rockstar. I'm not an idiot, all right? And I've learned my lesson. I should just start reviewing movies, right? Because at least when a movie sucks, it only takes like an hour or 2 out of my life. I don't have to play 8 goddamn hours of dog shit just so I can go online and tell everybody, hey guys, this game is dog shit. But damn, do I really hate this trilogy. So in this video, we're going to go over these games, and we're also going to talk about the PR disaster that was the release of this trilogy. If you enjoy the games, that's cool. Congratulations. Because I did not. And because of that, I think we need to properly talk shit about this soulless cash grab of a dumpster fire. Firstly, let's talk about the game's production. Common sense says that Rockstar themselves should create these remasters. Right? Because that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that you have a studio that focuses on mobile games do it for you.
This is a disaster.
Actually, not even standalone mobile games, just mobile ports of old games. Yeah, why the f would we do that? I get that they were also responsible to ports for later consoles, but this wasn't supposed to be a simple port. This was supposed to be a remastered version, which is different from a rework. A rework is actually rebuilding the game, a remastered is just adding better effects, textures, lighting, you get the idea. Looking back, I kinda wish they just ported the original games instead of trying to remaster them.
I spit harder than anybody in the world could do.
That
It's
shit
like
sucks. Damn.
Because the original PlayStation 2 versions of these games were objectively much better. And certainly they would have done a much better job with it. But nope, they did their best to make the games better, and here we are, making fun of them. So no one really knows how the development process actually went. But I'm pretty sure I know what happened. They took these games, ran them through an AI upscaler, and called it a day. What I mean by this is they used some sort of artificial intelligence program that went through and just kinda spruced the game up. They made the textures higher resolution, they improved the polygon count, and they released it. The problem with that is, it seems like nobody actually played the game after the computer messed with it. And nobody who worked on this project actually went through and did the due diligence to make sure that the computer did a good job modernizing these games. Great idea, right? What bad could come from that? Now, before we talk about all the issues that were added to the game or the things from the original game that are just not fixed, I do want to talk about the good parts of this remaster. It's only fair, right? I owe them that at least for their efforts. But don't worry, this won't take long. So they improved the lighting effects along with the textures, and yeah, now the lighting does look a little more realistic. The control scheme was also modernized, meaning things like shooting uses the right trigger instead of a button, which just sucked. They also added checkpoints and quick saves. This one to me was a lifesaver because these games crashed all the time. And also they added a GPS tracking system so it was easier to get around when driving, which is something else that I liked. But yeah, that's it. That is literally all the things that I liked that they added. Like imagine that. All the improvements for this definitive edition fit into a couple sentences. That's incredible. That is so cool. Do you know what bicho means in Spanish? It means bugs.
Hello. Hey, thought I'd explain some shit. Since you've been away, shit has changed around here.
Okay, we got a car driving. Pretty normal. Oh, yeah, no, that's not supposed to happen. Well, hey, it reset. We're naked. Oh, nope, you can see through him. Yeah, okay. I don't think his arm's supposed to be like that. Alright, we got a car driving again. Hope it hit nothing and it turned into a frisbee. Again, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Oh, okay. So he's got like some cyberpunk level clothing on. That's pretty cool though. I mean, okay, so a backflip. Oh, it blew up too. Alright, shit. Alright, what's going on? Oh, it's raining. Oh wait, no, it's not raining. Oh wait, no, yeah, it is raining. And another car gets turned into a frisbee. And of course, the first person glitch. Wow, this is incredible. This is just fantastic what they did. Alright, that's enough of that. Start the song, let's talk some shit. The first thing I noticed was the character models. Everyone looks like they're wearing like these weird skin suits. It's weird. It's like rubber. All the characters that got major reworks were turned into like inflatable sex dolls. Why the fuck are his eyes so small? Why do he look like this now? And why does my girlfriend look like this? Wait, all my girlfriends are ugly now? This sucks. It's like real life. I'm playing a video game so I can date somebody who's pretty. I'm not gonna put that in. God damn it. And Jesus Christ, this isn't how I picture gangbangers. I just look at these goobers. They look like Teletubbies. I don't know why I just felt like goobers is like the perfect word to describe them. I mean, look at them. It's the perfect word, right? Goobers. Honestly, they should have just let modders do this. It's obvious that modders care more about the game than them. But yeah, they pretty much botched like all the characters, making everybody kind of feel awkward and cartoonish. And in a bad way, not a good way. But the characters were almost as good as the new rain effects. Google, what is it called if you can have seizures from flashing lights?
On the website Sears
Now, if you suffer from seizures from flashing lights and stuff like that, you might want to skip ahead a little bit. Because what the fuck is this? It looks like a Snapchat filter or something. When has rain ever looked like that? When has it ever looked like that? Even in games, when? My favorite part about this whole thing is how the rain just stops if there's a body of water behind it. Because you know, that's just how weather works. But again, don't worry, because modders already fixed this issue for them, and it only took them a couple of days. I just don't get, like, why aren't they hiring these modders? Obviously, these people have more skill than the entirety of Grove Street Games. Do you want people to have seizures? Because this is how you give your players seizures. Yeah, thanks Grove Street Games. I hate it. Now this next screw up is certain proof that they ran everything through an AI upscaler. And also didn't check to make sure that everything came out okay. So a lot of the text and signs just don't really make sense anymore. Because computers don't know how to read. Taste a real man's heat? What? That doesn't even make sense. I don't know if they I don't know if they were doing this to make the games like less edgy in 2020 or whatever. But realistically, how long would it take to have somebody double check all these signs? I'm sure one guy could spot check like all 3 games in like 3 days. But the AI didn't stop there. It seems like they also ran an upscaler on the polygon count for the map.
Now can you enhance? Yes sir, I can do that.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Which, I commend them for that. It's probably a good idea. as long as proper QA is done after the fact. Otherwise, you might end up with unwanted side effects like this. Donuts, get it? This used to be a nut. Not anymore though. I'm pissed about this one. I love donuts. Don't disrespect them. Computers hate comedy. They just hate things that are funny. I don't know how they managed this, but there's like an insane amount of various bugs and glitches that were now added to these games that weren't in the original. So much so that a YouTuber named Catalarius uploaded a montage of bugs only a couple days after launch. The video is 1 hour long. Yeah, that's not good. These bugs mainly consist of things like mission scripts no longer working, constant crashes, and various other bullshit happenings. I was lucky enough to experience a couple of them myself. While trying to do burglary side missions, I simply wasn't able to invade certain homes due to not being able to walk up to the door. I could understand if I couldn't access, a couple houses, but when half the houses in southern San Fierro can't be broken into, me and you have a problem now. I am no longer going to overlook your laziness. I'm playing this game to be a criminal. You're stopping me from being a criminal. What the hell's going on? Why? I also got a very common bug where bridges are just invisible sometimes, making a lot of the country races a little bit more challenging than they were before. The funny part about this was actually an issue in the original San Andreas. How has this not been patched out? Y'all had 17 years to fix this, but I guess you still haven't got around to it. Maybe you guys should quit jerking off with the blinds closed and do a little bit of work for once. I'm also pretty sure that this game crashed more than I actually saved. So thank God for the added autosave. Otherwise, I doubt I would have ever made it out of Los Santos and San Andreas. Yeah, I only went to a save station like 4 or 5 times, but I know the game crashed at least 15 times on me. It's obvious these games were not optimized for modern day hardware like they should have been. The average iPhone in 2020 has more processing power than a PlayStation 2 does. Yet my $500 RTX 2070 still renders buildings like this. So if you're going to remove the fog so we can see the entire map, you should do a little work on the LOD so things don't start looking, I don't know, melted, shitty, bad. There's a million synonyms for this and none of them are good. This is crazy to me. I had mentioned in my last GTA video how modding the draw distance kind of breaks the illusion of the map. And yeah, I was right.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
Without fog, everything feels claustrophobic and condensed. I really don't get why they wouldn't try to include some sort of workaround for this, and instead just said, fuck it, get rid of the fog. Who cares what it looks like? Probably because that would have been actual work and Grove Street Games couldn't be bothered to do anything besides running the game through some sort of computer enhancing program bullshit and not even check it. Apart from that, some of the other things that don't make sense on 2020 hardware are things like cars still materializing out of thin air, which shouldn't be a problem if you're running the game on hardware that is now 2 decades later than the actual game is, and parties still look like awkward gatherings with only a couple people and not actually like a large group. Trust me, a PlayStation 5 could render like 100 of these rubber plastic NPCs and it would be fine. And it also would probably have no issues fully rendering a building that's right down the street. But maybe I shouldn't complain because at least the textures in my game were close enough to the actual textures and not what some other players were getting. Because some other people were having more bizarre issues with their textures. Like how this wall is now a face in Vice City. Like how does that even happen? What did you name the files the same thing as you did some other guy's face? What the fuck? Come on, guys. Come on. It feels like this remaster was made over the course of 2 weeks. So I was shocked to find out that Grove Street Games has been working on this for 2 years. Yeah, I read that right, 2 years. What the hell? What were you doing the whole time? Designing people wearing rubber suits while also adding various bugs and issues to the code? It really makes me wonder, how did we even get here? Well, it wasn't really an easy ride for Rockstar. But before I talk about why Rockstar is a stupid, dumb company for remastering these games the way they did and slingshotting this shitball into the eyes of all their fans, I want to talk about their customer service. And to do that, we're going to look at Bethesda. For real, God bless Todd Howard. After launching Fallout 76, Todd was right there to take it, and he took it like a man.
And we got a lot of well-deserved criticism.
Seeing him get torn apart by the community and various media outlets eased my anger over Fallout 76. Because I had a person to be mad at. I had a face that I wanted to punch. And weirdly enough, it makes me feel better. I don't know, maybe I'm a psychopath, but I liked it. Because I felt like our frustrations were heard. Now, when you think of Rockstar, who do you picture? Nobody, right? It's just a faceless corporate entity. It doesn't hear you, it doesn't see you, and it doesn't really care about you.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know you.
Rockstar has always been great at distancing themselves from their fans. And although I've always loved their games, as a whole, the company seems greedy and soulless to me. And one of the best examples I have of them being a faceless corporate entity is how they managed the big debacle that was the release of this trilogy. Okay, so picture this. You're a big-time game company and you're about to drop a remastered trilogy of some of your great games from years ago. This should be a big deal and you want the launch to be successful.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
Right? So how do you celebrate the first weekend that it's out? Unscheduled, unannounced maintenance, leading to none of the games being accessible at all. Oh man, what a brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant. Not even a full day after the games drop, the Rockstar gaming launcher went down for maintenance. And it didn't come online until the next day, meaning that not only the trilogy but also Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption couldn't be played.
Why treat the customer this way? Because f*** them, that's why.
This amount of stupidity is unparalleled. Never should you launch a game only to make it unplayable for most of its first 24 hours. And if the maintenance was planned, who the hell is in charge of scheduling this shit? I mean, you already have Helen Keller QAing this game. What, you got Doctor Strange in charge of the calendar? Get it? Because like he can like move time, he can change time. I didn't write that joke down, I just ad-libbed it. I'm probably gonna keep it in though, I don't care. But if you were playing on PC, it only gets better. Because after the launcher came back, a lot of PC users noticed something different about it. The games weren't there anymore.
And it's gone.
But don't panic, Rockstar support just posted another tweet about it. As Rockstar support so eloquently put, the Definitive Edition is unavailable to play or purchase as we remove files unintentionally included in these versions. What? Now I wanted to have this video done much sooner, as I planned on playing these games most of that weekend. So I waited, and waited. It took 2 days for me to be able to play a game that launched 3 days ago, that I had already bought and installed, and that I should probably have access to. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, it's probably worse than Cyberpunk. It really probably is. But again, how did we get here? Why am I waiting on a game that I just bought, that just launched? Why is it not available? What the hell's going on?
What the f*** is this?
Well, it's because Grove Street Games didn't do a good job with this, and they left a bunch of files in there that shouldn't be in there. If you want a good report on all the files that were in there, go check out Vadim on Twitter. He's like a GTA files guru, and he posted a lot of the info that I got for this video. Great guy. Thank you for fighting the good fight, Vadim. But yeah, there was a lot of files that were left in these games. As you may guess, some of the files that weren't removed were the audio tracks that Rockstar no longer had licensing for. So instead of actually removing them from the game, they just commented the code out, which is probably why the radio just goes out sometimes and you can't hear anything for a solid minute or two. Which is lazy, but it's not the end of the world. However, the big problem came from a certain minigame that is still present in the files, which I'm sure you've guessed by now is the hot coffee sexy minigame. Yeah, somehow the code for this is still floating around in the files for this game, which to me is strange for a couple reasons. So the remastered version isn't an update to the original PS2 version like you might think. It's actually a remaster built off the framework of the previous Grove Street game ports. This is why the workout minigame is different from the original PlayStation 2 version and is the same as the later PlayStation 3 port version. Which begs the question, why the fuck is that code still there? By this logic, Hot Coffee was added to the previous mobile ports and then was copied over to the PlayStation 3 ports and then was copied over again to the Definitive Edition. Now if it was built off the original games, I might understand this a little bit. But since this trilogy was built off previous ports, it really makes no sense that this minigame is still there. Were they that lazy when making the previous ports that they didn't even modify the code like at all? And if that's true, why give Grove Street Games another chance at this? Grove Street Games more like lazy, easy street games. Keep paying me, Rockstar. Let's do it. Alright, that was another bad joke, but it wasn't as bad as these games are. So, who could probably make these games better? Well, the people that actually care about them. The modders. Since the original release of these titles, modders have used their free time to add some truly incredible things to these games. They were able to add multiplayer to San Andreas, creating the GTA roleplay scene. Hell, you can even play as Iron Man if you want. And they were obviously able to make the world look better, as seen in the first couple shots of this video. And as corny as it is, they would do a better job because of love. Rockstar was motivated to remaster these games because of money. They had an opportunity to introduce a whole new generation to these games, but instead gave no effort to this project. They settled for the bare minimum because all they really wanted was a quick couple bucks, preying on people's nostalgia for easy money instead of remastering these games properly so people who never got to experience them get to experience them.
If I haven't seen it, it's new to me.
But this is where I really kind of get mad. Because how do they treat these modders who are actively trying to improve their games? They sued them. Because of course they did. Rockstar has tried to sue modders for hundreds of thousands of dollars, all because they were trying to make their games a little better. Okay, well, not actually this guy. He was just making GTA 5 online cheats, so f that guy. I'm fine if he gets in trouble for it, but they shouldn't be targeting the modders that are just trying to create a better UI feature, or adding different back-end optimizations so it runs better. And especially not the people who are fixing these seizure-inducing rain effects that Grove Street Games thought looked great. The only reason they're taking down these enhancement mods is because they don't want people to find out that modding the original games is objectively better than any of the ports or remasters that Rockstar has released themselves. And they seem to do this tactically by taking down mods before they plan a re-release. Because more recently, they started going after GTA 4 mods. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a GTA 4 remake sometime soon. Just please don't let Grove Street Games do it. Just, come on, keep them as far away as possible. Don't even tell them. Don't even let them see it. It's funny to me to think that less than a year ago, the CEO of Take-Two, the parent company for Rockstar, was blasting CD Projekt Red over the release of Cyberpunk. Which before now, I had no idea who the CEO of Take-Two was. It's this guy, Strauss Zelnick. Yeah, f this guy. He looks like an NPC, I don't trust him for shit. But anyways, he said, and I quote, "I think the case that you're alluding to reflects to the fact that you're always better served to wait for perfection if you can create perfection. And all of our labels are seeking perfection, and we don't always succeed. Sometimes we fall short, but that's the goal." Okay, let's unpack this. So basically he said, don't rush out games if you can make them better unless you're forced to release them. Sure, that makes sense, I'm on board. And maybe that's why it's been 8 years since the last Grand Theft Auto and we still have not heard anything about GTA 6. But the thing about this trilogy, it didn't need to be forced. It was announced like hardly a month before its release. The whole thing was kind of bizarre to me, because if they would have properly QA'd these games, they would have realized, oh shit, these kind of suck, guys. We need to push that release date back. We should probably make them better before we post them. But instead, for some reason, they just forced it onto shelves as quickly as they possibly could. For really no apparent reason, nobody was expecting this or looking forward to it for years. So Strauss, only a year after that quote, completely contradicted himself. But this isn't the only time he's done this. While talking about remasters, this pretentious douchebag had this to say. Remastering has always been a part of our strategy. We make the remasters different from the competition. They are not just ports. We take the time to do the best job we can to create a different title in the new release and for the new technology in which we publish it. Wow. That aged like fine milk.
Milk was a bad choice.
And because earlier I was talking about how Rockstar is a faceless corporate entity, I am now pinning all of my anger on you, Strauss. My life is boring. I just want something to be mad at, okay? So, Strauss, you and I are enemies now. We're not friends, Mr. Zelnick. In the end, these games were properly greeted by the community. We have a bunch of YouTubers bashing the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest shit show in gaming history. And if you thought Cyberpunk 2077 was the real creme de la creme, that was just an appetizer into how bad things can actually get.
There are so many issues with this release, some are even outright corrupt.
It's a remake, it's another remake. But the thing about it, it's not just any remake. It's a terrible dog shit remake.
I've heard the PS5 version has a specific visual glitch, and let's see if this one does too. Damn it! Ah!
You know that song that goes 1 step forward and 2 steps back? Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about these.
And the Metacritic scores were some of the lowest in history, rightfully so.
This meme fucking sucks.
Also, Rockstar's Twitter was turned into a war zone that was fueled by pure hatred. But luckily, this massive backlash has changed the way that Rockstar operates, as they responded by fixing these games promptly and offering everybody full refunds. And yeah, that's another joke. This isn't gonna change anything. They took our money and they're going to try to do it again soon with the GTA 4 remaster. And despite them not releasing how much money they've made off the Definitive Edition, it's probably more money than I could even imagine at this point. Looking back, I really should have thought the fact that they showed little to no gameplay before the actual release was a big red flag. But I love these games. And I was so optimistic to hear that they were re-releasing that I bought them without doing any actual research. I say it every year, but I'm gonna keep pre-ordering shit because I'm a dumbass. So, what is the GTA Trilogy? Simply put, it's a waste of money. The GTA Trilogy was a mobile game that passed through a couple versions of iOS before making its way to your PlayStation 5. It was made for money, and that's it. It was not made for the people that actually loved these games, which is why I fully believe that Rockstar and Grove Street Games rightfully earned these Metacritic scores. Now, I know I put a lot of the blame on Grove Street Games, but honestly, this is mostly Rockstar's fault. After all, they were the ones that signed off on all of this. However, I can't say that this developer did a good job, like, at all. So let's just hope that Grove Street Games is not in any way or form involved with GTA 6. Just don't let them touch it. They suck. How have you not learned that they suck yet? Just don't let them touch it. Just keep them away from it. But that's the video. The next video is going to be on Battlefield 2042. Which, how crazy is it that like every game that released this season just sucked? I want to talk about something positive soon, but I don't really have anything to talk about that's positive. Fucking, I should review movies. But anyways, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I just hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Look at this. It's a talking stick. Because it's by the microphone and it's talking. You get it? Okay, that's enough. Goodbye. Wow, what a great video.